Um, now on the question of how do we understand the process of the path and how to engage in the meditative practice of the path that would lead to attainment of Buddhahood. Now here, if you look at the Indian classical Buddhist texts, the kind of the approach that we find in the Indian text seems to really be that the presentation begins with giving an overall framework and overview of the entire Buddhist path, and then the practices are embedded within them. And in the case of Tibet, thanks to the great kindness and blessing of masters like Shantarakshita and Padmasambhava, the great tradition of Buddhism came to be rooted and also flourished in Tibet. However, there was a period during which it went through degeneration, and then it was revitalized and revived around the 10th, 11th century, particularly in the wake of coming to Tibet by the Indian master Atisha Dibamkara Shirijana. And when Atisha was requested by the then Western Tibetan Emperor Changzhubu to give a teaching, Changzhubu made the request that as for more sophisticated and extensive exposition of the structure of the Buddhism and the Dharma and so on, and this is something that there is no rush, we can wait. What I would like to request to you is to provide a teaching that is very comprehensive, but it's also encompassing, but something that can also be applied to practice immediately by the students and disciples. So in response to that request, Atisha composed a lamp for the path to enlightenment, Bodhipatha Paradipa, and where the main framework that Atisha used is the scheme of practices corresponding to the three levels of capacity of a practitioner. These are sometimes referred to as the three capacities approach or three scope approach. And where Atisha drew primarily from the presentation of the path in the writings of Master Asanga and his disciples. And so these three, the practices corresponding to the three levels of capacity can be really kind of seen as similar to the school system, education system. You have the primary level education, you have the higher secondary level education, then you have the higher education like university. So corresponding to these different levels of capacity, different relevant practices were presented and organized according within that frame. And so in this, when one speaks of practitioners of initial capacity, middling capacity or medium capacity, and highest capacity. And so within these, out of these three practices of these three capacities, the practices corresponding to the first initial capacity provides the conditions that are necessary for fulfillment of our temporary spiritual aim, which is to ensure attainment of higher rebirth, a fortunate rebirth. And the practices corresponding to the middle capacity enables us to ensure all the conditions that are required for attainment of our liberation from samsaric existence, and all the practices that correspond to the highest capacity provides us the conditions that are necessary for attainment of our final aim, which is the attainment of Buddhahood.
Tadine shologa sumba shiva niwudigi ene reta sumba che anda tanjok luden sambuji nyeni yodabati tanchambure nyebar kaware dinde yindu susu midongwar ene nyensim gomba sonde tösam gomsum chaware sonde 대양 any shirab sumsene Ngela, da kaso lang dog ne di shen de tu, yang de rang beshe lo. Di to ne, ji yinbari sam chen deng ji, yinbari sam xie deng ge zhe jik do. Di tu jung ge shiro sai de. Da tu be tuan de la, so su rang ge sam dang, jia ba che, sam dang, jia ba che. Din de ge to ne, nge ba ye de be do wa. Nge ba ye de be di sam jung ge shiro sai ge. 지도 퇴배탄의 리그시 년도 참 수시 럽다네 삼전야로 삼례 중의 남주 로이 태숨 쳐버셔 실시되다 할람다 섬중기 시 천대슬레 윤디 패지 제바차되어 제바차만 쳐요 다디 시럽디 땅부차 차버려 퇴중기 시럽 거돌라 야 맨자직 퇴배이나 근데 이런 사람이 야 고배야 소리지 야 미션다지 투체 진짜 말다스 러버이나 야 그대이나 사람이 차야지 다 퇴배 된들라 릉니기 샤바체네 양내 양도 삼다니 녀버토데버시 뭐이나 아니 배지 메다지 통배이네 다디 가리나 삼내야 남사데 녀르베 태좀체제 삼다시 마도 야디 그대이나 사람이 고모야디 고마레 봐 슝지베이나 근데 제가 가르치면이나 다디 공부 가르쳐도가 내가 가봐도가 두 세지 샤시마도 나서 다시 신발 뒤에서는 쓰고 말아. 잘 슝了 섬주고 고안이 고안 남다 차요나. 다되네 섬중기 네버톱에 된들어야 아니 네버톱에 좀 샤고 뭐인 봐. 네버톱에 된들어 양내 양도 지버체 콤버체베 데불이야 된데 삼내 네버톱데버데 참바 삼게 남사스를 요래야지 디 옆에 가도라 아니 배지 kum중기 싫어서 럽초 그래 다양 kum중기 싫어서 고아지면야 지금 띵인지가 좌다 제베 거네 야 좌다 제베 싫어지려 kum중기 싫어서 하지 내 용기야 해 저다 띵 내가 좀 사도 와 no,
so in the next stanza, the author explains the importance of appreciating the opportunity accorded to us by our fortunate birth as human beings, and the need to utilize that opportunity by primarily engaging in the cultivation of the three wisdoms or three levels of understanding. These are understanding derived through learning and study, understanding derived through contemplation, and understanding derived through meditative experience. And it is important to appreciate the distinctions between these three levels of understanding. The first level of understanding is an understanding which is, primarily verbal, which is also tied to words, such as through having heard about the Dharma from someone or having read something by yourself. And as a result, you get some understanding of it, which is kind of word-based. And at this point, your understanding is not that stable. It is kind of quite shaky as well. However, on the basis of that, as you then apply your own critical, inquiry, and in some sense process that information that you have gained through your own critical analysis, and as a result of that, when it, deepens your understanding and gets to a point where you really gain deep conviction in the understanding, then at that point you have reached the second level of understanding, which is the understanding derived through contemplation. And this level of understanding is really characterized by a depth of conviction in that truth. For example, Lama Tsongkhapa in his prayers, aspirational prayer, he says that for the meanings that I have learned through study, may I be able to apply constantly critical inquiry and may this lead to may it lead to such a level of conviction where all where all potentials for doubt has been eliminated. So this is the kind of the mark of having arrived at that second level of understanding, which is characterized by depth of your conviction in the understanding, so that when you hear a contrary explanation, this is not going to shake or undermine your understanding. In fact, for example, even when you're reading a scripture by the Buddha, and if your understanding had reached that second level, then if what you read does not accord with your understanding, you will be in a position to immediately think of there must be some specific purpose for that literal statement, and what is behind that literal statement, instead of feeling confused because you thought it was one way. Now here all of a sudden I'm reading a text that seems to say the other. So that kind of confusion will not be there. So finally, once you gain that kind of deep level of understanding based on conviction, as you constantly cultivate familiarity with that truth, then as a result of your constant application of your mind through meditative practice, when you get to a point where simply by bringing it to your mind, it immediately has the effect of transforming your mind and your emotion. And at that point, you have reached the third level, which is the level of understanding derived from meditative experience or meditative practice. And sometimes in some other text, this level of understanding is also characterized as having the element of deep, the attainment of samadhi, attainment of concentration as well.
Ribushi Sadi, Kurim Dusi Shane sometimes to one. Near the Tedu Ribus and Namjung and the Jabasha Corridor, and the Tegi and the Jabashat. Tedu Ribu Jabashadi, Shirudi, Gundrig in Jawal, Chikta, Chenny, Deber Ribus at Chikshay. That Gundre so, Rana, but a cheese Zayina, Zen women in we are. Now Shiba Yini, Shiba Sosu, Mingnam Menda in we are. The Chile Menda in we are. The Idijik Shiba. Yang Zayine, Zay Menda do you do Zane, young Namju Menda Chai. Teaching to Shiva Rigmenda do you do Zane, young Namju Menda Chai. The Idijik Shiba. Dever good chick. Charge every good chick. The Yedi part to you do Zane, any Chuni Ribus. Shiva series of Yedi, Chuni. Dagada Zay so Korkor Kasur Dagia, Korsuking Church, Yedi, good Chuni Remato, Dike Shaki Yamare. Penzu Deva. Junjegi Penzu Deva said in Nalolia, Yang Tumunicha Udua. Dear the Junju Nal Savshari, Junju Nalia, any Bamala Soba, Eve the Kado, Nuva Yudabadi, Kangi Chubarstona, Ting Jungamatic charities. Jungamatella, Devu, Bama, Eve the Kado. Chi do Mera Yudabati, Chaya the Karsarona, T. Gu, Debutia, Nubaji, T. Gu charities. Korkor, Jungamanga, this Gabriel, and Daddy, and the Trisi that is charged with the devil with Yutani on the door. They lack or Shemdua. That dish should they Tommy did do Lally in Soyare. Tommy you there was the Tungesandi, legislature said one. Semi Pemburia, saw to do catch him ever in Za, Korkora, Namangame, Gucheva on the Choris, Dimato, Legish Merche. There was the Tunges lives and a Legish. Did you Zedua? There was the Tunges lived Sorrow, Source of the Shivarova. Chazanga shebre gyube debuji yoya tela shebre gyube gyuji shagugwa. Ta dilabde gulungi chabada dewe chawamedaji. Jirle sujingle shevi yoride yine da zo simju sambegan samdan biyorba. Sa shebegan samdan do. Jazanga Tommy didu lele yins yashidwa. This samdan shto.
So in Tsongkhapa's prayers, he talks about how he makes the aspiration that, on the basis of having developed an understanding based on study and learning, may he be able to constantly apply critical inquiry, taking into account what are the four laws of nature, and then arrive at a point where he'll be able to, overcome even any traces of doubt. So here there's a reference to the four laws of nature here, or four principles of nature. And of these, the first one is really the principle of evidence. And this is where reason and logic operates. Because of A, and therefore B. And that's the kind of principle of reason that we apply, and which is the critical inquiry that we are talking about. However, in order for that principle of evidence to operate, it needs to be based on some further level of principles. And here, the second principle is the principle of dependence. And here, primarily, dependence in terms of causes and conditions. And it is by appreciating causal relations we can make inferences, and we can use the principle of reason. So, however, in order for the principle of causality to make sense, it again requires another level of principle, which is where the individual components that operate in a causal relation, they themselves have characteristics and aspects to their reality, which allows them to engage in these cause and effect relations. And say for example, if it is external matter, the matter have their own compositions, individual constituents that compose the matter. And if it is a cognitive phenomena, then depending upon the kind of objects that the consciousness takes, there are different permutations and different aspects of the cognitive experience. And furthermore, when different elements come together, as a result of their coming together, certain new manifestations emerge from the coming together of the more elemental factors. And so these serve as the basis upon which we can then observe causal relations. And on the basis of causal relations, we can then use the principle of evidence to say, because of A, then B, and so on. Now, all of this ultimately are rooted in a basic principle, which is the principle of nature. And here, for example, the fact that, why does material things have a kind of obstructive quality or physicality? This is the way it is. There is no further explanation. There is no further principle to move on to. Similarly, why is the cognitive phenomena, the mental phenomena, has the nature of this subjectivity? There is no further explanation. That's the way it is. And this is what is meant by principle of nature. So it is on the basis of principle of nature the other principles operate, and on the basis of which we can finally use the principle of evidence and reason. And so particularly with relation to principle of causation, here Shantideva, in his Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, makes a very clear distinction between two subgroups within the causal processes, and where a question is asked, at the level of results, we see a lot of diversity. For example, with relation to, say, lotuses, we see many different types of lotuses with different colors, shapes, and so on. And then the question is raised, to what do we attribute this diversity that we see in the resultant phenomena? And Shantideva says those are all attributable to the diversity of potentials that exist in their causes. And then another question is raised, how do we then account for the diversity that exists in their causes themselves? Then he goes on, their causes. So when giving that kind of explanation, it's purely a kind of a causal process which has nothing to do with karma, and he doesn't bring the concept of karma at all in explaining this chain of causation. And then later on, he then makes a very clear, specific point about, he says that as for sufferings and happiness that exist since beginningless, they come about from karma. So here a clear distinction is being made between two processes of causation, causal processes. One is a simple causal processes which has no involvement of karma. The other one is a causal processes where karma is involved. And here the key difference is that in one process there is the experience of pain and happiness, or pain and pleasure of happiness and suffering is involved. So any causal process that involves the experience of happiness and suffering, then there karma plays a role. And then here part of that causal process would involve intention on the part of a sentient being, and that's what makes that process having an involvement of karma. So Shantideva really makes a clear distinction between these two types of causation process.
So Rikpa Kone Jasadi and the Tsering Bin the Jabashadi Rikpa the Zag Nuba Kadikadi Yemi, chemistry Kadikadi Yemi, that the Penzu Duni, Rikji Gunjig on the Rikji Penzu Deba on the Dodega, the Takaran Dodego.
So if you look at the way in which investigation takes place in the scientific method, it seems to be really very similar to this model of the four principles of nature. For example, so we speak of chemistry, where we recognize different chemical properties of matter, and then through the combination of these chemical elements, we then understand different emergent properties, and so basically relations, causal relations or mutual dependent relations are being used even in the scientific method process, where then you make new inferences on the basis of what you already know. So it seems to be really very similar.
That in Dijigan sometimes to Handa. Jungmi Sukta Kalashik said. Regitanang. Jungadan Jungu Nis Share. That Junga and Shinji Mana, Junga the Gurbe, Jungu, Ranshikane Hossein. Koreskodu Dirba. That in Junga the Jungi Yawa chain Zane, Sukra Soul the Chad in Jungu chair. Tis Sumshi Junga chair. So I just underscore it. The Big Bang. Yombe Kadula, Juin Nega Mera sometime. Then a part chaves and any Jungugan to the Mera sometime. Suggenche in a Big Bang, Toma, that so charge, Shibuchita, Zedu Chamukadi, Sachu Melungi, nobody ever. In a Disango, the Chumo, the Lungo, Sini. More social chair meeting. Doctor Channama meeting. Juekadula. Chazanga the Big Bang sharing design, Pager, Juet and Yiviche, then any Big Bang Cheve Jelia, any pageant Junjugan do or some transfer.
So this just reminds me of a critical distinction that is made in the Buddhist texts between elements and derivative elements, phenomena that comes as a derivatives of these elements. For example, in Nagarjuna's precious garland, he, of course, he is speaking in the context of establishing emptiness with relation to all phenomena. And he says that if the elements themselves have no intrinsic existence, how can physical, material world that are derived from the elements possess intrinsic existence? So here distinction is drawn, similarly in other Buddhist texts, between elements on the one hand and material phenomena which are derivative of derived from these natural elements. So, and the elements are understood to be really, really very, very subtle at a very, very elemental stage. And recently it just occurred to me, maybe when we talk about this such subtle understanding of elements, we're not talking about earth, fire, water, and air and so on, but we're talking about the potentials for these elements. So, and at the stage of the natural elements, one cannot really differentiate the individual elements, one opposed to the other. We can only conceptually differentiate that kind of distinct identities, but not really physically. And it just recently occurred to me that maybe at the point of Big Bang, that's the time when the elements were there, and the unfolding of the physical universe after the Big Bang can be really seen as the unfolding of the derivatives of the material world.
Then chi dunzi le ta tasma sha de shigare zo zo de nangi namyengin dunzi le tasma sha de zore.
And then in the next stanza, the author explains the importance of avoiding conditions that would distract you from your practice, particularly the external conditions. But the most important thing is to really guard oneself against internal kind of extraneous thoughts that would distract us from our practice.
So here, I think our materialistic sort of life seems, you see, the our sort of pleasure, the mental level pleasure through sensorial sort of consciousness, seeing something nice, then get some pleasure, including sports or cinema, like that. And then through ear consciousness, music. Afterward, through that way, you get some satisfaction. So long this sensorial sort of consciousness, some kind of, since the mental sort of, joyfulness entirely depend on this sensorial level. So when knows something, you see, some nice things to see or nice things to hear, not there, then you feel boring, isn't it? So sometimes I feel among the tourists, some old people, they have sufficient money, so they feel too much boring in their own home, so then go different places like that. So such people, so hermit life is really miserable. Those people, you see, who have some experience, sort of their joyfulness, not relying on sensorial sort of consciousness, but mental level, such as faith towards God, very strong, loving kindness strong. No need seeing or hearing or taste, nothing. But you can you can spend months solitude life, full of sort of satisfaction, full of sort of joyfulness, like that. So I think modern life,
it seems as if the modern lifestyle really celebrates distraction.
So, see, actually, see, that kind of life, the sort of potential of mental level reduce. Too much relying on sensoriality. So therefore, it is quite important, whether it's a believer or non-believer, not talking about next life, but within this lifetime, because of that, we should give more work, mental level, than our sort of ability of our mind, because of that, can maintain. If we too much sort of rely on sensorial level and neglect about the ability of mental sort of because of the
Mental level.
mental sort of activities, then your mind will become dull. It's quite pity. It's a very beautiful sort of dress and a beautiful face and a brain marvelous, but actually your mind dull. So I think, see, I just want to inform you. We must pay more attention about our mental level sort of ability. That's very important. At least myself, now last, I think, more than 2-3 years, never watch television. I only radio, BBC, that informer about world event. Seeing television, firstly, bad for my eye. Then secondly, wasting my mental ability. Of course, listen BBC, you get some information, then analyze. That's better. So like that. So in any way, if you have some interest, then I think keep in your mind, give more work about the mind. That's important. 다디 슈구데 쇼로가 시버디기 메다보샤인 거예요.
So then the fourth stanza explains the contemplation on impermanence.
So this also, you see, important to practice, because one major factor which wasting our time is Tangjing Lodche.
Our apprehension of permanence.
신실로 따와시 써야 돼. 미탁발로 딱발 셔봐. 동네로 대화를 셔봐. 미상발로 싸워 셔봐. 다음에 발로 따도 셔봐. 신실로 따와시 우디기 아주 미스 쳐라던 거.
There are four forms of distortion fundamentally that really makes us really waste our life. These are a distortion of distortedly apprehending things to be permanent when they are impermanent, distortedly apprehending things to be pleasurable while they are actually in the nature of suffering, distortedly apprehending things to be pure while they are imperfect and impure, and distortedly apprehending presence of self-existence while things are devoid of self-existence.
Then fifth sentences.
So in the stanza number 5, the author explains the importance of avoiding negative companionship, influence of negative companionship. And then the 6th stanza explains the importance of seeking spiritual mentor and friends, spiritual companions.
다 개외신이 기견은 시리 랍자 로종 컨제 용도 마용 조지 기견을 되기도 저 지버리셔 지 최저기 지 태성 검송 기념이 야오지 용도 마용 세야디 또 기견을 하래 개외신을 하래 Dinde yimba indusane jamjen degi due da Cambodia lama Cambodia lobunda chenada naje lama bodo ada ji chenyi khande guyo didi songdowa dene ya chene dode khoduliya dode tembe lama di chu juden gware 직 songdowa dene nga shungle indusane chi dekono니 ju nang dekono니 ju dinde sin상 gware chene 간달라마 개심부 인상 라메 친이디 nembucha sondowa.
The importance of spiritual teacher can be appreciated by looking at the role teacher plays in one's education in school. To a large extent, the quality of education you're going to get in a school is going to be influenced by the quality of the teacher that you have. Similarly, in the case of Dharma practice, how successful you will be and what is the quality of your study, contemplation and meditation practice is really going to be again influenced and to some extent determined by the quality of the spiritual teacher you have. And because of this, the Buddha himself spoke extensively about the qualifications that are necessary on the part of the spiritual teacher in different contexts. For example, in the context of monastic discipline practice, he spoke specifically of the qualities that are necessary for someone to act as a spiritual mentor and teacher in those kind of contexts. With relation to Mahayana teachings, particularly the sutra level teachings, the Buddha spoke of 10 primary qualities, the 10 key qualities that are necessary, required on the part of the teacher. And in the context of Vajrayana, he spoke of different kind of qualities that are essential for someone to serve and act as a spiritual teacher. So, and this is to really underline the importance of ensuring that the person who is going to be your teacher is a qualified one.
Many years ago, I think more than 15 years ago, one day, one Chinese from mainland China and came to see me, a Buddhist, very serious. He told me, nowadays, some false Lama from Tibet came to mainland China and claimed themselves as a,
Dharma king.
So then, a number of Chinese devotees, they very much sort of respect and sort of also devoted way.
Very devoted.
Then eventually, those claim as a Dharma Raja, their main purpose is seeking money, seeking sex. Then he asked me, I should do something. Then I told him, I cannot do anything. The important is those devotees must learn the quality of Lama, which mentioned in Buddha's teaching. Then, when you met someone who claimed Dharma Raja, then test, examine. You must spy on such person. Then, not one day, 1 week, but months. Then eventually, you find something, all those at least minimum qualification there, and a reliable person, then you consider as your teacher and receive teaching. So that's the only way. I told them like that. So therefore, in the West, in Mongolia also sometimes it happens. The person who claims something very special, sort of teacher, but actually, as I mentioned earlier, seeking wealth and seeking sex. So, must be careful. And examine or spying, including myself. You must spy on me. That's important. And also, you should judge my today's talk. What differences about 10 years ago, about 15, 20 years ago, and whether this is consistent. And my talks, whether go well with Nagarjuna's sort of text, or Shantadeva's text, and Buddha's own sort of text. That way you must sort of examine. That's important. Now the sentence, verses 7th and 8th. These two verses, 7th explaining about refuge.
Taking refuge.
Mainly Buddha Dharma Sangha. So historically, Buddha as a Nirmanakaya appears on the planet, then gives teaching, then among his followers eventually develop certain inner quality and become Sangha. So that's the historical sort of sequence.
Development sequence.
But actual sort of law of causality, first Dharma. Any person who develop some kind of deeper understanding about the reality, then familiarize that, and eventually you really gain certain sort of definite experience. Then you automatically become Sangha. Then further sort of training, and eventually through the practice of that wisdom, then finally all defilement on our mind completely eliminate. That's Buddha. So that's the way. Dharma, Sangha, Buddha. Now, how to purify our mind? Basic nature of mind is pure, like water. All other, as the defilement or destructive emotion, all are something like due to some conditions, the water become muddy.
Murky, no.
Dirty.
Muddy, no.
But dirty never make dirty the water's cleanness, pureness.
So no matter how murky or disturbed the water is, so far as the essential quality of the water itself is concerned, that never gets defiled.
So one most important quality of mind is awareness. Aware. That no need effort. So long the very nature of the mind is aware. Awakened. Yeah. So that's the seed of enlightenment. So that, of course, according to Tantrayana, then the grosser level of mind, like consciousness, organs,
sensory
organs, then the mind which follow these senses of organs, these are very grosser level of consciousness. Then dream time, another level of consciousness. I think yesterday I mentioned briefly. Then further deep sleep, then further the state faint, complete faint. than at the time of death. So there are different level of consciousness. So we call grosser level consciousness, little subtler consciousness, most subtler consciousness. So these grosser level of consciousness never become Buddha's mind. There's only in the most subtle consciousness, that is no beginning, no end, finally go to become Buddha's mind. So that we call Buddha nature. So the Chima Mabambe Sim Chuni the Chuni Kangi in you Sim Chow, the comes at come to Shin Busat. Come to give a negative Changjuche.
So, therefore, the emptiness or the ultimate nature of our tainted mind, the unenlightened mind, as well as the very subtle dimension of that unenlightened mind, these are referred to as the essence of Buddhahood. These constitute the potential for enlightenment, so they are the Buddha nature. And when this nature is perfected at this time of enlightenment, then that state of the mind is referred to as awakening or enlightenment.
저자가 규라면 구름이 빼야 그러셔. 산제 최 소신의 규제공도체. 산제 최 소기 진럽디 감디시닝부를 흉내. 아니 감디시닝부디 지제도 규에 내가로 청주체. 산제 최 긴든 감 청주 링감 청주체. 대대비 청주공도 제연도 랑게탑의 연대 신지수집의 칠레 연대 칠레 도진내 된 배우도.
So in this regard, the sequence of explanation of the key topics of the Buddhist path found in Maitreya's Uttara Tantra Sublime Continuum is really excellent. There, the presentation begins with the explanation of the three jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, because the Buddha teaches the Dharma, and on the basis of the Dharma, when one is able to cultivate the Buddha nature, then that Buddha nature in its perfected state becomes awakening or enlightenment. So, following the explanation of the refuge, and then there is the chapter on the Buddha nature or the essence, and this is followed by an explanation on the awakening, the stage of awakening. Once you have attained awakening, then one can speak of the qualities, enlightened qualities of the Buddha. So that is explained, and this is then followed by the enlightened activities of the Buddha for the benefit of other sentient beings. So the explanation of these 7 points and that sequence found in Maitreya's text on Sublime Continuum is really wonderful.
Then next sentence about karma. So 10 non-virtues. Deliberately restrain 10 non-virtues is the 10 virtues. So that's the real causes of good life, good next life.
Yeah, rebirth. No.
So through that way, we achieve temporary goal. Finished.